Welcome, everybody. We're back.
Yes.
Yes. Fuck you, too. How's everybody doing? Daniel, what's up, man?
Good man.
Welcome back. Mikey OGB, what is up, my brother?
I am fantastic, man. It's great to be back here. You know, a lot going on.
Yeah, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, man. Ditto. Likewise.
Looking healthy, looking good.
I try.
Life taking care of you pretty good.
Yep. Taking care of myself. Yeah.
We got a lot to get into, man. We got a lot to talk about because for anybody that's been watching before, they got to know what the hell happened to Mike. Because Mike just up and left one day, and that is how it happened. And I had to move. That's when I moved to this apartment. And, yeah, a lot of shit was...
Shit changes.
Shit changed, man. It was a must-do, though, because you had a business to take care of with your family and stuff.
C'est la vie, such is life, yes.
Yeah, man.
But, you know, I'm back, full circle.
Right. Your kid was in an interesting position, and you wanted to be there for him, and I respect the hell out of that, and I think people should know that. So, because we got a good group of people around here that take care of their children, and if I had some, I wouldn't take care of mine. No.
Sure you would.
Nah, I would. That's why I don't have kids, man, because I know how time-consuming it is and all that stuff, but it is the way it is. But welcome back, brother.
Great to be here.
Yeah, man. Cheers to that. Let's go.
Cheers.
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 If you're having a drink with us. So now today, we got a lot to get into. First, I just want to talk about you, though, for a little bit, man. I want to see, because I know you've been going, I mean, you're in school now, and you told me you've read this book that has changed your perspective on things quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, it just confirmed kind of what I've known all along inside my gut, Just
Right.
always had kind of this gut feeling about
Interesting.
this false patriotism or super patriotism, I guess you call it.
Right,
So,
yeah. Well, we've identified recently. We've put
Yes.
a term to it. Yeah, it's interesting. So what is the book?
It is a People's History of the United States written by Howard Zinn. He's a veteran of, I believe it was the World War II, might have been Korean War. But
Oh, Zen was a veteran.
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
But he was later labeled as a socialist, and, there for the time, he's passed away now, but for the time, he was persecuted, even called, a communist socialist,
Right.
for the truths that he laid out,
Right.
So it's just a book on U.S. history. It's all true. It's all fact. Written from the perspective of, say, the people that have been on the losing end since the beginning, since day one, since the days Columbus landed.
Right.
It's quite revealing.
Right.
Discouraging to say the least.
Yeah. So. I mean, I haven't read the book yet, but a friend told me when you do read that book, you got to read it in bits and pieces because it's a real motherfucking book.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like I said, since day one, like for example, Columbus landed, and this is all gathered from personal correspondences, between him and, the Queen or whoever, was prominent at the time. So he immediately started in his personal diary saying how he could exploit these naked natives that he, when he first laid eyes on them immediately, He took a population of 250,000 Arawak, Indians and reduced them to maybe 100, 200 within a span of 15 years.
Jesus.
Crazy.
Wow. I mean, how was he killing them? What was his method?
He enslaved them.
He enslaved them?
He worked them to death, mining.
Wow.
It got to the point where him and the conquistadors, they would not even walk on the ground. They would have to be carried, or they would walk on the slaves.
Jesus.
So yeah, it was crazy.
What a
because they
time.
looked at them as gods when they first arrived.
Wow, man.
That's just an example. It's kind of I believe it's going on today, but just it's been modified,
Right.
modernized.
It's a modern
Yeah.
It's a modern way to do business.
Yeah, that's what our rulers are viewing us as.
Right.
How can we exploit, manipulate?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why it's weird that they got Columbus Day and they look at him as this great person from the past, right?
Till today. Till today, man. The more I learn about history, the more I realize how fucked up our history that we teach is. And to the point where you're like, this can't be right. This can't be right. You know, this fucking conspiracy. But no, I mean, that's what you got. You got a lot of people, a lot of fucked up shit. Like, it's one thing if somebody comes in the room and is like, hey, man, I don't got shit on my face. And you're like, no, you got shit on your face. You know? Like, I could see it. I see the shit on your face. It's on. And you're like, no, this ain't shit. It's like, no. You got shit all over your face, but this ain't shit. It smells like shit. No, it's shit. It's shit. When you see it and you know it happened, you got things that are, you know, there's certain things that you know that happened, right?
Right.
And then they build up to this thing, and then you're like, holy shit. But
you realize it's so ingrained and how far it's evolved.
Right.
And how deep the hole is, and there's, you know, it's almost impossible to climb out of it. You know, it's very discouraging. You know, and it's like I said, from day one, we'll go to, you know, like Revolutionary War. Our founding fathers, our first government, it was just a lie to rally the population to support them, so they would not have to pay heavy taxes to England. It was in their best interest. You know, and then it just continues.
Avoiding taxes all the way back then. Jesus.
Or how can we manipulate and rally with this false sense of patriotism?
Right. Wow, man. Wow. When you think about it, it's silly because we all are immigrants. So it makes sense that the whole patriotism thing is, you know, fabricated to the point where it's like, okay, well, let's just make it this. So we could herd this cattle and get them all to go along with this shit because we got an agenda and we gotta execute this thing.
And they know we're programmed to just, there's so many people that just blindly jump on board with that. You know, you love your country. What do you love about your country? you know, like
talk to me.
Bernie says, you know, it's like, you love the land. Can you love all of your land, all the land? Have you seen it all?
Right.
You know. Me personally, fuck Alaska. I could never live there. It's too cold. I can't do that. So I don't love Alaska.
Right.
So, but anyway, okay. So do you love all the people? Of course you don't, because, you know, that super patriot type of mentality, they don't love inner city type people. You know?
Right. And you've never met everybody.
Right.
So you can't really say that either.
Yes. So what does it mean to love your country?
Right. Right. And what do they want you to subscribe to? When they push that on you every day and push it on you, no doubt you should love have an appreciation for where you come from and all that shit, but not to the point where it becomes nationalism, to where it becomes fascism, to where it plays into xenophobia, where you're just like, fuck all these other countries.
I loved America when it was great, and I'd like it to be that way again.
Yeah.
When was that?
I don't know, but somebody said it happened at some point.
They keep saying that all the time.
Was it back when our government, broke all 400 treaties it made with the Native Americans?
Holy shit!
Over 400, broke them all.
We're still doing that shit today. We violate international law before brunch on fucking Tuesday, every time.
Well, all I know is, on a personal level, for the first time in my life, my 51 years on this planet, I feel like I'm being squeezed. I feel like I'm being squeezed and milked.
Me too, bro. Me too. And that's the message I'm trying to get out to everybody. It's just like, you know, it's kind of what I just told you guys before we started the show about my fucking rent. It's like, holy shit, bro. I got to fucking move again. This is, yeah. So we're going to record a bunch of shows and try to push it to a good transition. But yeah, man, I mean, I feel like I'm being squeezed too. I mean, who doesn't? Yeah. I mean, we actually have a good fucking, a very good job we could be appreciative of. Think about everybody else. We are a very rare, for the working class. We're very rare. We're doing pretty good for the working class. We've been
fortunate in these times. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm still fucking paycheck to paycheck struggling, and like, what the fuck? Why do I got a half a buggy of groceries and it's twice as much as it usually costs me? It's ridiculous, man.
Average Americans have pulled out between $10,000 to $20,000 from their retirement funds in order to make ends meet. For the past 3 years.
I did not see that, and that is interesting. I heard the average household debt went up no, actually it was 1.9 trillion this last year.
That's exactly what my debt is, a trillion.
But while the household debt went up 1.9 trillion, all the billionaires doubled their net worth. So that just shows
all those guys did great the last couple of years.
Yeah, so that shows
record
you everything.
Earnings, yeah,
it shows you what and the same thing with the inflation. These corporations are getting record profits. If we subsidize the right people, small businesses, don't just let them go belly up, and hold the people accountable that we do bail out. Bankers, arrest them. If they fuck up, arrest them. You got to hold them accountable. Then you're going to have, but when you deregulate and you don't do anything and you fucking just let these people make all the decisions and minimal government is possible and just basically non-existent, well, that's what you get. You get a corrupt ass. The inequality gets to be so much that these people just buy the government. They're like, I'm never going to do reforms again. I'm not paying for these scum, because when you get to that level, when you have a Ferrari, when you have every color Ferrari, when you have these places that you go to, private jets and shit, I think by default, you just look down on other people. You just like, you're not shit. You're a peasant. You're nothing to me. Why don't you go do something for yourself?
And they literally are untouchable when you're multi-billion. There's nobody that you can't buy.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Right.
So,
including the police force, this is why I'm so tight on the police force too, because you're right. They use the police to protect the rich people's interests. That's why they're militarizing the fuck out of them. That's why our police force, if it was an army or a military, it would be the third biggest in the world behind United States and China. That's crazy when you think about it.
Well, with these multi-billionaires, it's a prerequisite to be a cynic and to not give a shit, and you have to be that way in order to achieve those billions.
Right.
So they're already there.
Right.
It was only a couple of years ago. If you had $1 billion, it was like, oh shit, $1 billion. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now we're in the hundreds of billions.
Was it you that told me if you had $1 billion, because we are getting desensitized to what $1 billion is, that you could buy a brand new Mercedes-Benz, to put it in perspective, every single day of your life until you're 60 years old and still have over 100 million left, I think?
It was something
like that.
We had a whole bunch
sounds
of different.
about right.
We had a whole bunch of different analogies, but I think the one I was saying was it was something like if I don't know, Bill Gates or any of those guys, the higher up guys, Musk or whatever, they could spend $5 million. I'd have to do it on the calculator to give you the exact, but it's somewhere around like you could spend $5 million a day for 100 years and still have like 30 billion left over if they never made anything else again after today. So you could spend,
so you cut their payoff.
You cut their pay where they never make interest or anything from today ever again.
Spend $5 million a day.
$5 million every single day for 100 years.
Holy shit! That's not even our life expectancy.
And still have like 30 billion or 40 billion left over.
You'd run out of ways to spend money. You'd have to wake up every day and
But that's just an analogy to show you how much it is.
$5 million a day.
I mean, it's multi-generational.
In the last we checked, Bezos was making $321 million a day. It was like $35 million an hour or some shit like that.
Wow.
Dude. In 15 minutes, he makes more than the average worker makes in a lifetime in 15 minutes.
How much is enough?
I did that on my Socialism for the Rich video. I talked about how Bezos could take a shit, and by the time the stench was gone, he earned your whole life, dude.
Could single-handedly wipe out homelessness in America.
He could do everything. I mean, I think that's the point of socialism, is saying, hey, what's enough? What's enough? We're going to let these guys get to $1 trillion for a single fucking human being that can never, and just let this earth
Careful
end?
now, when people hear that word socialism,
they freak the fuck out.
Because they think of the worst end of it.
It's taboo.
Well, we're going to have a trillionaire in the next 10 years if these guys keep making as much as they're making. Because
Bezos is already over 300 billion now.
yeah, so it's going up, it's exponentially building. So
Jesus Christ. Wow.
I mean, wouldn't you want to be the guy to wipe out homelessness?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to talk about being a hero or being appreciated, right?
well, they always talk about him doing like some little philanthropy thing, but it's like so small in scale.
Yeah.
It's like five
all
$5
PR.
million.
It's all
okay.
PR.
Well, if this dude that has $20 million gives $5 million, well, shit, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But if you got $300 billion and you give $5 million, you shit that, dude.
Right.
You used to have to start a fire.
And that's why I laugh at these punk motherfuckers that talk about, oh, they pay their fair share in taxes. I'm like, the fuck they do? You don't know about all these loopholes and shit? And not even for that, nothing. They should be paying a wealth tax, not a fucking income tax, dude. They should be paying based off what they're
not
fucking.
Because Bezos paid
Because they're born into that,
He
too.
paid something like $3 billion last year, or something like
Right.
that. But that equates to like 0.01%.
Of his earnings, right?
So
Right. He made 70.
he needs to be paying 20-30%.
Yeah, we're paying 30.
Yeah.
You know, of
He made 70 billion in 2020 alone of his net worth, dude. 70 billion came in the coronavirus.
Hey,
while
if you
we're
hear me, Jeff, I love you.
while we're fucking struggling, dude, and all these people are losing their employment, losing their fucking health care, trying to fucking make ends meet. This motherfucker is
going to space.
70.
give him the big middle finger and fuck everybody. I'm going to
And
space.
he had to get his yacht.
I remember
His yacht.
when they would 20 years ago. Well, what was 1994, 90? Because it was
20 years
Shaq was re-signing his contract, right? And the Magic wanted to give him $100 million. It was over $100 million. Well, the Lakers wanted to give him over $100 million, and Magic were going to give him $100 million. And people lost their shit. They put a fucking thing out in the newspaper saying, "Hey, do you think any athlete is worth over $100 million?" And it was the reason why Shaquille O'Neal left Orlando, because everybody wrote in, no, nobody's worth that much money, and probably some racist comments too, probably, whatever. But it was the reason why he actually went to L.A., because L.A. was offering him like $130 million. But my point is, 70 million would be a lot, but this motherfucker accumulated in 1 year $70 billion, man. And that's just not human. Like, we don't need that. What are you doing? He's making them move a bridge, a historic bridge in New Zealand, so he could get his fucking, because they're stupid fucking geniuses. The people that are going to save the world built a boat outside a bridge that didn't even think about, we got to get this boat through this bridge.
Have you seen those? Have you seen those photos of the Amazon?
We're so fucked.
What do they call them? They don't call it a warehouse. They call it an Amazon fulfillment, whatever they call their warehouses, whatever they call them. They got some special name for them. But there's one in Mexico that they built, and they built it next to these fucking slums. So it's got all these little makeshift houses made out of like scrap metal and whatever, cardboard and shit.
Pipe.
And then you got this big ass Amazon warehouse right next to all these.
Probably pumping all kinds of carbon emissions into those fucking neighborhoods, killing those people.
oh yeah.
Right.
They're making pennies on the
It
dollar.
seems like
down there.
if they put that up in some community, then he should be part of the deal. Should be he has to bring up the community somehow with.
That's the thing about it, man. If it was just that side of it, then I would get people's point a lot more. I'd say, okay, you're right. It's freedom. This is their business. Even if they were born into wealth, even if you're never going to be fucking Jeff Bezos, and I'm never going to be Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or any of these guys, even if they were all born into wealth, yeah, it's the private market. Yeah, they're allowed to do that, whatever. But there's a whole flip side to this coin that nobody talks about. And I think that's what Mike has stumbled on in his recent years, is going, there's a negative aspect to all of this shit, and nobody's talking about all of this. The three main fucking things about capitalism that are fucking terrible, that remain the same, that could never be fixed in all the 300 plus years it's been around, are the fact that there's in the office factory or store, there's no democracy. You have a few people that make all the decisions for sometimes thousands of people, much less hundreds of people or whatever. But sometimes they make the decisions for everybody, the boards of directors.
They make decisions that affect millions.
That affect, and then that's what I was just gonna say, and then it affects millions of people in the societies, the communities, and all that shit. Whether it puts out a toxic fume or whatever the fuck it is, that's one thing. The second thing is its downfalls, its collapses. It's like every 4 to 7 years, capitalism has a fucking oopsie. And I was just thinking about this the other day. My youngest niece, Madison, y'all know Madison. She was born, dude. I was thinking about it. I was like, when the fuck she was born? She's not even 21 yet. She lived through the 2000.com, the 2008 crash, and now she's seeing 9/11, and she's seeing the coronavirus. Now, 9/11 was 9/11, but I'm just talking about the 3 economic downturns. The 2000.com, the 2008 crash, and then fucking coronavirus, because we couldn't handle the coronavirus, so the system collapsed. So she saw that, and she's not even 21 yet. So that's 3. And so every 4 to 7 years it has a collapse. And then the third one is the inequality. It always causes so much inequality. Look around the world at all the places that are doing, I mean, everybody's doing capitalism, and most of the world's poor. But the inequality gets so gross that, you know, like I said, these people buy $500 million yachts and fucking and ride around like in dick rockets.
I don't know what label would they slap on, say,
and by the government.
Propose a law that it's illegal now. You can no big corporation can outsource any work outside the United States. Boom. Now, would they label that, oh, well, that's socialism or that's communism or you can't do that? What right am I violating by saying big business cannot outsource work?
They should have done that. They should have locked that in, man.
Shit like that needs to happen. I mean, we would see some kind of result at our level.
Right.
You think? I mean, employment would...
Right, and I would tell the same fucking people, and if you're not going to fucking address that, then quit telling me about these fucking immigrants that are coming and stealing our jobs while you're just shipping them out back door by the millions since the 60s.
That scares the shit out of them, you know, people to undercut their prices.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Cheaper labor
That's
right
the
here.
truth. That's the truth.
That scares the fuck out of them.
Right. That's the truth. And it's a system that they created. They ushered this shit in. So it's where we're at now. It's not a bad thing to evolve and just see things in a 2022 perspective, man. Nothing ever stays the same. Shit's changing. So if you're not fucking changing with it, all the understanding of history does for you is it gives you a better sight through your binoculars so you can see up the road and go, oh shit, we're fucked. That's all it does. You just see and you go, oh shit, we're fucked, because you know what happened back then, so you can see the patterns and the inconsistencies and shit, or the consistencies, and you go, wow, this ain't good. This ain't good, because we're getting all this debt now, and that's the difference of what we're doing. The whole world's in debt.
It's our history,
right?
You know, as America. I mean,
right.
Back when we were taking land from the Native Americans. Okay, so in these letters that were found from these tribal chiefs to Thomas Jefferson, will say, why would you take by force what you can have for free?
Wow.
Question posed. You know, and it's I don't know, man. Is it like in our DNA just to
be like that once you get like that?
To take it.
Yeah.
You know, we're warlike people.
Yeah.
That are nature.
I tell people that too. I say, but that would go to.
Is that where we're number one at?
Yeah.
One
being an asshole, bullies. That's I don't know, man. That's a good fucking question, because I tell people when I was playing basketball and I thought my shit didn't stink. If I would have, back then I had such an ego. If I would have done something and got paid millions, I think I would have been a bigger asshole. I don't think this Corey would have ever existed, man. I don't think it would have happened, because I never would have. I think what humbled me the most was not making basketball and having to not have a plan B and then going, holy shit, I gotta do something about this, dude. I'm not no bitch. I'm not gonna quit on life, this life that I was given. I'm gonna appreciate this shit and I'm gonna go make the best of it. And that was the decision after a lot of drugs that I had to make. and that's what I did, man. And I had a new appreciation for it. But had I never done that, I would have been some egotistical asshole in the NBA. And who knows if I would ever came around or not. So I think it does. I think it's steroids to your ego to have that kind of money and never really have a upbringing. Now, it could be different for people that like came into money after they didn't have money. You know, if you just were broke most of your life and then you got money, you probably have a better appreciation of it because you know what it's like to struggle. So
Yeah, but I still think that's maybe at best a 50-50 split because money changes people too. You know, you forget where so many people forget where they came from. It's our nature.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I see some people that were like nice when we were younger and now they're assholes. And I was an asshole when I was younger and then I'm nice now. It's weird how things work, man. You don't know what makes people, but maybe they went through some hard shit and now they're fucking just pissed about something. You never know, man. You never know what shapes people's consciousness and shit and what makes them or breaks them or whatever, but it's just like relationships. Some people grow together, some people grow apart. You can never predict it. You just got to go with it. And some people just stay the same and are like perfect forever. And you're like, fuck, you've been together since high school, you motherfuckers. And you're still doing the same thing, you know? It happens. It happens. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's when the passion, you got your passion, then the compassion. The compassion relationships are always the ones that last.
Right. So. Exactly. Well, that's cool, man. So did you finish the book yet?
No, I've got 2 more chapters to go.
Yeah.
It keeps jumping around, but it's
now I hear this book is the biggest book ever. Like it's one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, it is, man. It really, it's a long read though, man. Some of the chapters, I love history, but I never liked the period of the Industrial Revolution.
Right.
It kind of was just found it boring and repetitive.
Right. Right.
But this time around, I see it from a different point of view. I see it from a working man's point of view. And I see a lot of similarities as what's going on now.
I think that's a beautiful thing, dude. It's
how they squash unions, how
Yeah, we've had some really, really deep conversations, dude. Just when we seeing each other on the side and stuff. Bro, you're blowing my mind with because you went in deeper details on a bunch of different stuff, but yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing when you see people just like I did. Adjusting to shit as they're learning shit, man. And I think everybody should do that. But I also think that that's why they dumb down education and they don't just give these, educations away. Hell, man, they're going to be charging for high school before you know it. These motherfuckers are going to be charging for,
Oh, yeah. Squeezing you for every dime they can get from you.
Yep. That's what's next, man. If people don't wake the shit.
It's ingrained in their DNA, man.
Yeah, man. Look at the authoritarian measures that are going down that trucker convoy, dude. They just Trudeau just froze their bank assets.
Okay, well, devil's advocate, I mean, do you think that what they're doing is more harmful to the people of Canada?
I don't think so.
And,
I think
you're going to be solidarity in that from everybody?
Yeah, I think they're reporting it as bad. But when you see these, it's so amazing, Mike. You see the regular media report the shit, right? And it's all kinds of labels all over the shit. And then you see independent media, and they're out there. They got journalists fucking there reporting people and interviewing people on the ground and doing all this, And these are just regular people, man. And this is these are the people they're trying to silence. It's conversations like this. We're just talking for sake of, we're not selling nobody shit. We're just talking, It's conversations like that. Joe Rogan, Yeah, they're using him to put him on over some shit to distract him from other things. But the reason they're so mad at him is because he's viewed and he just has regular opinions on shit. He's a comedian, dude. It's not even a news station, not even a journalist or anything, and they're flipping it. But for the candidate thing, everything I've seen is pretty solidarity out there, man. Even, because my family is from there. They all just moved down here from there. I talked to one guy, Josh. Shout out, Josh. And he, at first, was just like, I don't know. But they've been on some pretty strict measures up there, though. They're still kind of pissed off, dude. But they're doing mandates for these truckers, and they're like over 80% vaccinated, I guess. And these convoys right now, they're taking down the mandates. So it's working. It's effective. So unless people are starving and they're not getting their food or medicine, then I would say, yeah, that's a problem. We got to make sure we let that truck through. we got to get, but I don't think that's the case. I think these people are heavy, you got how many pharmacies and shit. I don't know if you're running out of medicine up there. They're pretty well taken care of in Canada. And like I said, all the reports on the ground seemed like they were fucking, dude, not just solidarity, dude. They're some proud motherfuckers. They're snowball fighting, just having fun. There was cops that got in an argument because some cops were standing in solidarity with them, and then there was some that were like, no, we got a job to do, and they got in a fight, I guess. There's a bunch of shit going on. But the people, I mean, dude, when you're hungry, man. And well, that's not their situation, but they don't want to mandate, and they don't want those passports, because when the truckers pull up to the border, they're mad because they already know who they are when they get there. They're like, hey, I'm so-and-so. And they're like, we got you. And they're like, what are you talking about? And so they're worried that how far is this going to go, where they're tracking us wherever we go and shit like that. I think that's a fucking valid point, dude. We just caught the CIA again tapping into all our shit, and they don't even know the extent of what how deep they're digging on our information, but a report just fucking came out again that they're in all our shit. And I mean, we kind of knew it already, but Jesus.
Right. Now it's truth. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like, fuck, dude, the terrorists aren't in here, man. We're not terrorists. We're domestic. We're super patriotism. How are you going to call your own fucking people terrorists? You know what I mean? They're doing that in Canada. They're calling the motherfuckers terrorists. And it's just like, dude, but at the same time, they're removing these mandates. They're actually, it's working.
Solidarity is powerful, and it's what changes governments. It's what helps people generally. But it's tough, man. I mean, it's so hard for me to see it happening here in America. Solidarity, really. I mean, because instruments of the government since day one have been to divide the people. How to get them to squabble amongst themselves so much that they'll never unite in solidarity. There'll never be solidarity. I mean, what's it going to take for the solidarity of the poor to unite against the rich?
Right. When the whole time, since what I believe, what I understand is since FDR did the New Deal, that was when rich people got together and said, we're not doing this shit again. We're not getting taxed fucking all this money to pay for these fuckers because capitalism's going to have another downturn and another one and another one. And we're not going to keep bailing them out. They reversed the fucking system. And that's what we're seeing today.
It's not a long-term plan. It's going to pop.
Right. But FDR didn't do that by the kindness of his heart. I always tell people this. There was two socialist parties, a communist party. There was a fucking anarchist.
He did it to stop the Civil War. Yeah.
Yeah. And I heard the other day that this is crazy. Okay, we know for a fact that CIA, to fund the Contra War, was bringing in all that cocaine and shit, and they were flooding the inner cities with it. That's where Rick Ross came from and all that shit.
Thank you, Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. What I heard the other day was pretty fucking mind-blowing because they were decimating unions and all that shit all the while. But what I heard was the reason they flooded the inner cities, not only to fund the Contra War and get the money for that and all that shit, but it was to basically destabilize urban cities, man, and make them so they couldn't organize and fucking join and protest and stuff like that because they're all drugged up, fucking numb. And it made a lot of fucking sense. And I'm like, damn, dude.
Everybody else is brainwashed, man, into thinking that they have this blind obedience to their government who has never, ever shown any reason to be trusted. They've broken every treaty they've ever fucking dealt with.
Yeah.
When it's not in the best interest of profit. Why do they deserve our blind obedience? Why?
That's the $1 million fucking question.
People forget that.
Super patriotism.
People
That's why.
That.
Super patriotism.
Because they've got all their methods. They've got the super patriots. They've got everybody else chasing the, 6 inches in front of their face with their next best gadget. Convinced they gotta have this, gotta have that.
That's exactly what it is, man.
That just makes you work harder and makes them richer.
That's right. Yeah, it does. It does. And that's the point. It's just like it doesn't end because there's always another fucking country to ship off a job to go work for a few bucks an hour, and they're trying to get our wages down with them. And that's why our wages, the federal minimum wage hasn't gone up since 2009. But inflation keeps fucking going up, and know.
Where's that money going? Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Exactly. I don't know how a product on the fucking shelf can be double the price of what it was.
In the next day.
Like, what the fuck? Like, how did it double in price? Like, what the fuck are we even talking about here? It's crazy.
It's just
Anyway.
like the home insurance, that all doubled this year. Or not home, home insurance.
Yeah.
I had to switch insurance. They wanted to raise it up to, it was more than 50%.
Wow. Yeah, I heard about this.
50%?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they raised it. They raised it last year. So last year I was like at $1,500 a year. Then they raised it to $2,500, and then this year they're going to raise it to $4,000. I mean, I switched companies. I got some like online home insurance deal that I ended up paying less than I did last year. But if you get a regular, one of the named places, it's like crazy, dude.
Where's government on that one? Taking care of us, you know?
It's not.
Why is it so taboo?
Why is it going up? Well, there's a lot of people around you that have had claims. Yeah, but I didn't have any claims. Yeah, but there's other people in your area. Like, yeah, but it wasn't fucking me.
I'm not driving my house around town.
Oh, so now we're a platoon. Now we're a platoon. It's just fucking bullshit, man. And then that's the other thing. You were just saying. They make the laws to protect their interests too, man. It's game, set, match.
Well, yeah, man. Where did it change? I mean, when's the last major interjection of government into business in the industry was what? Disbanding.
It's liberalism,
it's illegal
man.
for monopolies. They made it illegal for that. Was that the last big one?
Well, didn't they ban like the Juul, the
the Joel cigarettes?
vaporizers? You know, that was a big
Well, they almost got rid of Newports. Or no, was it Newports? Was it Newports?
Yeah, menthol.
Menthols. That's what it
sprinkle.
was.
Here you go.
That never happened.
Here you go, America.
That never happened though, didn't it?
No, but they got rid of Aunt Your Mama.
And Uncle Ben.
And Uncle Ben.
That's because that was the racist marketing.
Yeah, but it's all distractions, man.
Like,
it's division tactics, you know.
Yeah, it really is, dude. It really is. It's great. Yeah, we shouldn't be discriminating or nothing like
What
that.
did they
Everybody
do
knows
what
me
did
knows
they do
that.
with those anyway? They just
But
took the pictures off.
Right.
I mean, they didn't
it's
change-
no material difference in our fucking life is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're not making
Why did
a
they take
fucking
the
material
Quaker
difference,
Oats guy
I don't
off?
give a fuck if you paint BLM all over the fucking road. I don't give a fuck what the fuck you do. If you're not making a material difference in our fucking life, then I don't give a fuck what you did. All you're doing is playing us. Oh, I'll tell you another thing. Rosa Parks, they're painting it on the front bus seat on all the fucking buses in a certain town in Alabama. And I'm like, great. But fuck you. Like, I know why you do that, because it doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, it doesn't make a material difference in anybody's life. It's all symbolic. It doesn't, and that's the hustle. That's what we're at today. It's all symbolic. Fuck them, man. I'm so pissed.
Nobody has an answer. They stand up there and talk, discuss, say there's a problem, which we all know, from, I don't know, 6-year-old on up would know we got problems.
Right.
But they'll describe a process, but they never address any issues,
Right. It's what it is every time, but people don't see that because they're so angry. Anger blinds human vision. So when you're mad, you're just worried about, like most people from what I see, including myself until fucking recently, they vote, and if their team wins or loses, they go back to work, and they don't pay attention throughout the year. Of anything. That's what I've noticed the most. So when I say shit and nobody even knows what the fuck I'm talking about, it tells me everything that I need to know.
Right.
There's only so many times that could happen before you go, wait a minute, you guys really ain't fucking, you guys don't know. So it's not that they're not smart, can't pick it up. They just don't, they're not aware of it. And that's the whole purpose of the media. It's not just what we show you, it's what we're not showing you too. And it works. It's magical. It's fucked up.
It's all a Star Wars movie, man. We're under the shroud of the dark side right now.
They could have converted it over to simulation a long time ago. We would have never known.
Well, with as much information that we have access to now, social media, TV, just whatever, your phones, I get not a whole lot of news information. Mm-hmm. If I do, whatever I do get, it's the same shit over and over.
Right.
Exactly. Like if you want to find, if you're really interested, you got to kind of look for it.
Right. Right. How many? How long are we into this video?
40 minutes.
40 minutes. All right, we're gonna start talking about Russia and Ukraine for a second.
Bam.
I want to talk.
I was
this.
wondering. I was about to too.
Yeah, man. We got to bring this shit up for a little bit,
that.
man. I want to pick your brain on a little bit of this and see what you say. Neo-Nazis, Mike. Neo-Nazis.
They're everywhere, man.
America. Let's support them, man.
They're
What do you
here.
feel about that, man? We're sending weapons to neo-Nazis over there to fight Russians. Or what do you even make of that whole situation? Do you think we're trying to fish him in, like that fisherman guy? It's like, oh, almost got you, and they're trying to reel him across the border. I mean, that's what it feels like to me.
It's a big money deal, man. Honestly, I told you this
for
a while ago.
yeah.
When Biden went over there to talk to Putin the first time, they weren't negotiating peace. He made his deal. They made their money deal, man. There's money.
Yeah,
to
when
be
they were
made.
talking about them looking in the
They
face
planned.
and shit.
Yeah, they planned everything.
Okay.
It was all sorted out.
Interesting.
They know how it's going to play out.
Damn.
We're slowly being fed.
Damn.
It's all planned, dude. Pick up the program. You know, it's all laid out. There's an outline for it.
My mind
somewhere.
goes there sometimes, Mike. My mind goes there sometimes, but I'm glad you said that because, dude, I think that sometimes, man.
What
How
the
pre-planned is
Fuck
this shit
do
really?
we care about Ukraine and Russia?
Yeah.
You know, honestly, it sickens me to think of our military going over there.
It gets deeper, actually. I wrote a couple notes down. So Russia was our ally in World War II to fight Nazis, right? Now we're using neo-Nazis in Ukraine to fight Russia or to do whatever, but we're arming them. And that's a problem, right? The Nazi ideology is anti-Semitism. It's fucking, listen to this. In 2019, the Times of Israel headline, Netanyahu meets with head of Ukrainian party that includes neo-Nazis. Now, Netanyahu is Israel, right? So, for anybody that doesn't know. And so, but they preach all this anti-Semitism shit. I heard that the crimes, I've lived in my life, and I'm not saying that this isn't happening, because I don't know. I don't fucking know. But I've never seen Jewish people get discriminated against, like in front of me, like or even
Are you serious?
I haven't.
I've seen it a lot.
Yeah, like they violently.
No, not violently.
you
Just in conversation, like fucking Jews.
Oh, well,
I'll tell you this: in the military, you know, there were Jewish people that I served with, you know, and we all hung out. But there were certain other people that were always making the comments, you know, like, you know, you fucking he. They thought it was funny,
right?
Or you know,
not violently.
He won't loan me $5 because he's a fucking Jew,
Right.
You know, shit.
But they're boys, though.
But that's
Were they
still-
boys?
But you know, there's a line, man.
Yeah, there is a line. That's true. Yeah, I guess it,
I had boys that were black, but I would never drop the N-word to them, you know, out of respect, you know. I would
Right.
never
Well,
do that.
maybe the hate crimes against them are up. I don't fucking know. But my point is, for all the anti-Semitism talk, we're fucking, you know, they got Palestinians, Syrians, Lebanese, you know, they can't resist Israeli occupation. You know what I mean? So you know, they're anti-Semites, but we just go fucking arm neo-Nazis and we're good. You
Why
know?
are we always arming everybody?
I mean,
there's money to be made. That's it. There's an economic interest, and that is the only reason.
But at home,
It's
we're always talking
destabilizing.
about like we want
it's
to
a
take
cheaper-
everybody's guns.
What I believe is,
but then for other countries, we want to give them guns.
yeah, what I think is
understand.
it's a cheaper way to destabilize a place because we sell guns anyway, so we actually profit off of it. You fuck up your place, we'll arm proxies, dirty wars, whatever, and we'll destabilize all these places. And I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's just a cheaper? I mean,
we destabilize them and then send them lots of food. And,
well, when we destabilize them, then they get vulnerable, and then they open up their market. Say this fucking thug or rebel takes over, and then he comes and he's like, I got all my people good. You know, they're here. We fucked them up, and this is all ready to do business in here. So we go in, we say, all right, we pay that dude, and he pays his people or whoever the fuck, or takes all the money for himself or whatever. But we make a deal, and we fucking go in there and do business in that area.
We get a big stake in their natural resources. Basically,
Right.
we you know, we're owning something in that. We're on that part of that country. I mean, basically, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, I think he went over there and they negotiated. How are they going to divvy up the money? Because people don't think about natural resources of a country anymore.
Yeah, I
the amount of money to be made of owning a fucking country, dude. I mean,
well, China has the lithium, right?
Right.
They got like 80% of the world's lithium, dude. So if we do go all electric in car, for instance, Tesla uses that shit, they could fuck us. This is the problem with outsourcing all these jobs of ours, man, and not building the new factories and shit to fucking manufacture our own shit. This is the problem. It's coming back to haunt us.
That's why we should go like the Matrix deal and have people in pods and use power off of
juice
them.
Pods.
Yeah.
Juice pod, everybody. I think we might be a juice pod.
Not me, but other people.
No, super patriots. We could use super patriots as juice pods.
Yeah.
Like the fucking, what was that, Minority Report or whatever it was? Where they got the...
you're talking about energy too, man. I mean, when are we gonna, we're gonna run out of renewable, we're using too many non-renewable sources. So what about when we run out? I mean,
good question. Is
that why we're getting squeezed? Because there's money to be made now, but one day it might be free. It might be all solar.
Yeah.
Wind. Yeah. Hydro.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
That's another thing that China does well in is they're investing a lot trying to figure out what the fuck's going on in that regard. But that's only because they got a lot. They're actually fucking doing good. So
careful now. That's that badism, man.
Yeah,
watch out that badism.
Oh, it's gonna get bad because we're gonna fucking talk about some China
Isms.
propaganda or some China propaganda in a little bit. We're gonna get there. December 2021, though. I want to stay on this for a little bit. This is another headline.
I have a question about that. Yeah.
U.S. Right, just a few months ago, U.S. Ukraine vote against anti-Nazism, the UNGA resolution. The United States, which has long championed human rights, voted against a resolution to combat glorification of Nazism, neo-Nazism, and xenophobia. Dude, why would we? And by the way, 130 states voted in favor, and only 2 opposed, us and Ukraine. It's shit like that you got to pay attention to just call bullshit.
Wait, we opposed what? Abolishing Nazism?
Yeah, to vote against anti-Nazism for the United Nation thing for the resolution. The United States, it was basically a vote. It was a big vote, and there was 132 countries voting, and 130 votes were in favor, including Russia, to get rid of that. And us in Ukraine voted against it because we support Nazis over there right now.
But we also support
everybody.
Believe whatever you want to believe.
We also support 73% of the world's dictatorships. That just came out.
Yeah.
Jesus. 73% of the world's dictatorships.
How's that dictate?
How's that dick taste? Oh man. But can you but it's hypocrisy. So you see all this shit and you're like, this is fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. Today, another example, Al-Qaeda. We fucking, the Mujahideen, before they were Al-Qaeda, we were funding them to fight the Soviets, Bin Laden himself. We go in and we make these people stronger, and then we end up turning around and having to come fuck them up later because they're stronger. Yeah. And that's exactly, and then in Syria, Al-Qaeda was over there. They were calling them moderate rebels, but no, it's fucking Al-Qaeda. It's like, come on, man.
We did the same thing with Saddam Hussein. We backed him and supplied him during the Iran-Iraq war, and then all of a sudden he's our worst enemy.
Mm-hmm. I don't see why don't we just stay on our home soil?
That doesn't make enough money.
Protect ourselves, and then if something happens,
it is
because our primary business right now.
But why do we have to be involved with everybody else?
Because
it's economic
all the fucking time.
Profitability to be made.
Because when Russia lost 20 million or more people, and World War II and all that shit was fucking World War I, fucking bombs every fucking where, they had to rebuild all that shit. And we chose military. We said we're just gonna be strong. We're gonna build this shit up, and
that's the only thing we're number one in, really.
Right. And I don't even know that anymore because we're losing wars to shit countries.
Hey, so did we figure out why they increased the military budget after we left Afghanistan? Why did we increase the budget?
They took a
You tell
loss.
me, Mike.
They left so
went
much.
down, right?
They left so much shit behind and took a loss on it. They had to make up for it somehow.
Yeah, now we got to manufacture everything we lost and whatever.
$90 billion of shit.
Yep.
So another thing to look out for is the SWIFT banking system, right? America's trying to kick Russia out, or they're threatening to kick Russia out of the SWIFT banking system. That's not good because if Russia can't make bank transfers, dude, they're going to be shit out of fucking luck. And there's a lot of countries that are going to fold with that, including Europe and stuff. And that's not good. That whole system could crash. So what's going to come as a result is what a lot of people are thinking. Since Russia and China have been doing this fucking little, friendship, they're thinking about, they are going to solidify their military relationship. They're tied and economically in a lot of ways. And the Belt and Road Initiative is going fucking good for China. So right now, they're thinking that Russia and China are going to start their own banking system. And if that happens, man, all these other countries, there's already 120 countries signed on to the Belt and Road Initiative, and it's going very fucking well. They're lifting people out of poverty. Now, so we just explained America just now and what we do. So now on this other side of how you got right now, you got China doing the Belt and Road Initiative and going and basically just building people shit and giving you money on the front and charging you interest or whatever you need. They're helping people.
You think that's legitimate? You think that's earnest? You think?
Yeah, because I got a stat here that says over 90% of China people trust their government. Right now in America, it's 20%.
But isn't there some consequence if they say that they don't trust their government?
That's what they teach us.
We could say,
that's
fuck the government. Like, you could say that, right?
Well, it seems like, Daniel, that's what they teach us. They do teach us a lot of that. And
have they come a long way since running over people with tanks?
Yeah.
Tiananmen Square?
Probably. Maybe. I don't know. But I know the people from there are saying that, hey, they go out of their way to do special, podcast Twitters and all that shit. And they're telling you, hey, it's good over here. But I actually got something more to talk about on that. It's pretty interesting right here.
Well, I have a question about Ukraine. What special interest do we have over there? Is there an energy or power, some kind of deal over there that's of special interest?
Yeah, it's the Ukraine. Well, from what I understand, I'm sure there's a multitude of shit that we're over there financially involved in. But from what I understand, is that Nord Stream 2 line is really critical because Russia already has cheaper because they're socialists, so they're not for profit. You know what I mean? So they're not for profit, so they could give their people shit at a better price. So they got natural gas on the international markets, and they've been doing good. And it's taken a lot of business from. It'll take business from us if they turn on this other line that's constructed and ready to go. It's not on yet. They just finished it. It goes to Europe. And I think that's a big part because Wall Street oil and gas companies don't want nothing to do with that shit. Like, yo, motherfucker, you better go start a war. Well, fucking, Wall Street runs everything, man. Let's be honest. Wall Street makes presidents do what they do. Look how Barack Obama just walked in there and bowed to them, dude, and just did whatever they want. That's why Dr. Cornel West was just like, he called him out, man. Dr. Cornel West is a real motherfucker, and he said, hey, Barack Obama, I love the brother, but he was just a mascot for Wall Street. And he's right.
Well, you got to look at who benefits from war. It ain't the guys on the ground.
Yeah.
Or the people
right.
that are the
right.
men and women that are going to war. It's definitely not them. It's not their families.
That's right. That's right. So a little bit about anti-China propaganda. This Twitter came out. U.S. skier says Twitter account suspended after he praised Beijing organizers. Praised Beijing games. They get pretty bad media is what he said. So it goes into it. It says 3-time Olympian Aaron Blunk said he was suspended from Twitter after he and his U.S. ski teammates praised China for its stellar operations at the Olympic Village. They have honestly done a stellar job with the whole COVID protocol, the 25-year-old told reporters in the press room before criticizing biased coverage of the games. I didn't really know what to expect being stateside. You've kind of heard some pretty bad media, and that is completely false. It's actually been phenomenal. The 25-year-old said Twitter account was then suspended as he resorted to Instagram to protest the social platform's unexplained decision, reposting a fan's comment that read, Aaron Blunk is out here telling the truth and getting punished for from his own government. But a search of the Internet Archives indicates that the account was suspended in September last year. And in response to queries about the skier's account, the social media platform said it was suspended in error and has since been recovered. Blunk further shared it was an accident, man. You know, you accidentally suspend a motherfucker. You know how it goes.
I thought you were somebody else, man.
Blunk further shared a comment.
Retard alert! Retard alert!
Blunk further shared a commentator's tweet accusing the U.S. government of being behind his account being shut down. Twitter has executed the order of the Western ruling cabals. Punishment comes pretty fast. Blunk tagged Twitter and asked, what did I do? The Colorado native has been representing his country since he was 15 years old, blah, 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 blah. All this shit. So, and then it goes on to say another person was talking good about it. Yeah, it's bullshit, man. It's bullshit, and they're doing good, and we don't want them to believe. We don't want our people to believe they're doing good because because look how we're doing, right? Okay. The worst thing you want to do is show people other thriving economies and what we actually should be fucking doing with our economy, and going, yeah, well, you know. That's the last thing you want to do. It's propaganda. That's what you do. You sell them on the fact that America, super patriotism, is the best fucking country. It's number one, and it's never going to be anything else. And that's a part of the hustle. That's a part of the hustle. So, yeah, anti-China propaganda is big, man. And they're even calling that Uyghur shit bullshit. I haven't looked into that one yet. I've seen some things that are pretty telling that saying, hey, you know, most of that shit is bullshit. And it's 0% if you want to compare it to America and what we do to people, human rights wise. And that's what I'm understanding. But I haven't looked into the Uyghur thing and all that. But I know that we commit genocides on the regular, and we're doing one in Afghanistan right now. It's going to be a genocide if we keep them people fucking starving. And then Biden just decided to fucking take money from the $7 billion, I believe it was, that we owed him. And now he's sending it to the 9/11, or half of it to the 9/11 victims. And meanwhile, Afghanistan wasn't even responsible for fucking 9/11. So I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too.
Yeah.
I did hear that. He was splitting it 50-50. Half of it goes to the 9/11 victims. Half of it goes to... So there's some, like, who's getting it really?
Dude,
because the 9/11 victims, I mean, that was a long fucking time ago, dude. So the kid, like some kid who was, his dad. So like Pete Davidson, right? The SNL guy, his dad died in the towers, right? He always talks about that in his stand-up.
I didn't know that.
So is he going to get $20 million now from that whole situation?
Sounds like it.
There's no way to confirm this. That's what I'm saying. We're just supposed to believe everything.
But what an example of super patriotism, though, when you talk about giving half of the money to the 9/11 victims, and it wasn't even Afghanistan involved. That's super patriotism, because he knows just saying that, giving half to the 9/11 victims, is going to bring a reaction from people and go, "What a good guy." Maybe that'll make his approval rating go up.
That might win him some righty support there.
Who fucking knows, man? But the whole thing is gross.
Wasn't it just a couple years ago that there's still, that the 9/11 victims that are suffering from all these lung diseases and shit are trying
I'm glad you brought that up
to help them because we don't want to. The government don't want to give them shit.
I'm really glad you brought this up, dude. The EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. Okay, so post 9/11. They had to get the shit cleaned up, man. They had all these first responders, I'm sure everybody remembers. And the White House, right, they redacted the shit. The EPA put it out in the newspaper that there was 500 tons of asbestos built on the first 60 floors before they did away with asbestos in the concrete and the fireproof stuff. So it was in the fucking fireproof shit. And they knew it. And it was up to 60 floors. And so it was like 500 tons or some shit of asbestos concrete, right? So the building comes down and the EPA goes, yo, they find this in the spec. And they're like, fucking guys, you gotta fucking shut it down, man. Get these motherfuckers hazmat suits and shit. They fucking White House. Nope, no, you're gonna change this. You're gonna write this. Nothing. And all those people, we're gonna lose more people after 9/11, from after the attacks, just from fucking diseases, respiratory diseases and shit, because they went and was a hero and was digging people out of that fucking rubble. And we're going to lose more people because we are fucking profit first people. They wanted that shit open so Wall Street could get back open. They could get back to fucking business. It's all fucking money. They prioritize money over human life. We have to come to these terms, people. We have to. Because this is the big next step. It's understanding. It's like when you go to alcohol and you got to say, I have a problem. Yeah.
Why is it like this? They make cartoons about this shit. It's all about profit, right? Scrooge. Profit.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for years. They make fucking cartoons about it.
Yeah.
But we
desensitize us to it.
Desensitized, dude.
Right, we're all desensitized to it.
It just slowly plants seeds, man. And it makes you accept your reality because you believe it's a reality. You're living it. So that's the whole point of...
It's a pseudo-dynamic perspective where, well, that's the way it is. They convince you you're fucking powerless anyway to do anything about it.
I kind of feel like that. I'm just like, that's just the way it is.
Oh, you're way like that. I tell you some shit sometimes and you're like, what are they going to do? I'm like,
where's he going to sit?
What are you talking about, dude? There's a lot of things. It's not right, bro. Like, and that's what I try to really hone in on when I'm talking about all this imperialism. I'm like, man, you guys don't even know, you know?
Well, all the leaders of World War I, they were all cousins. Fuck. The enemies, you know, I mean, of it. Do you know that? I mean, Kaiser Wilhelm I was the King of England's like cousin. They were cousins.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah, it was all a big money deal, dude. It's the way it all goes down.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's all fucking big money together, man.
Yeah, what ups together. Approval ratings, what ups, you know.
They look out for each other. The rich class, the rich class looks out for each other. And that's why they divide us, so we can't look out for each other.
You're always talking about these conspiracy theories. I heard something where like every president ever, even Barack Obama, is like related to the other presidents in some kind of way.
I believe that, man, because like I said, it's ingrained in their fucking DNA, this imperialistic.
How'd Trump get in?
I mean, he's probably...
Trump's got to be one of a kind, man.
The anomaly.
He's the fresh one.
He's the outlier.
Yeah.
I told you about that community...
Biden and Reagan.
What do they call it?
For sure.
They legislate commemorative coin that they made of him, where he's got his whole hairdo on the... It looks so ridiculous.
Of who?
Of Trump. They have like this infomercial where there's this I can't say the word.
Commemorative.
That's the whole reason I asked you to do it again.
Commemorative coin.
Don't help.
You know, when they stamp the coin, you know, he has his whole like, here's a bird hairdo or whatever.
Right.
It looks so fucking ridiculous.
Cheesy.
It's crazy, man. The Trumpy bear. Ooh, Trumpy
bear.
Trumpy bear.
Trumpy bear. The fucking Trumpy bear. I don't have any fucking thing else, I don't think. No.
What?
Yeah, but that was...
Say some cool words, man.
No, I was just thinking about some other shit. This was pretty cool. Lee Camp put out a tweet. The U.S. has lied to us about Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, Vietnam, Iran, Venezuela, Guatemala, Honduras, Haiti, Cuba, Panama, Nicaragua. But they're telling the truth about Ukraine.
Yeah. I'm saying
they lied about
our government has broken every fucking treaty they've made with anybody here.
I'm pretty sure they lied about Ukraine at some point in the past too, because I've heard Ukraine in the news since I was a kid.
Right. This is it. This is it, man.
You talked about China earlier. What's going to happen with the whole Falkland Argentina thing?
They're going to teach them all karate and shit.
Well, I know. It's fucking. I know the Brits. I know the Brits are pissed because they were supposed to have the influence over that island, And I guess
China's.
They fought that whole war over.
Hey, did you know
China's going?
My distant cousin was the.
What are you gonna do?
The Falkland Islands.
What are you gonna fucking do?
Yeah,
I mean, from what I understand, Mike,
That's where I'm from. Did you know that?
What was that?
The Falkland Islands?
Yeah. No way.
Yeah, because the name's Falk. Anyway, that was good. It would be fucking hilarious if you were from there. But what I'm understanding is
it's all ego.
All these places, dude, are really pissed at us, and it makes sense, guys. If we,
you got to ask yourself, that's what you got to say. You got to question your government. What is making these other countries, people, so fucking angry?
Right.
At us to pull this shit, to do this shit, this level of fucking terrorism. What pushes them to do it?
Right. All 9/11 was the chickens coming home to roost, dude. That was us what we projected coming fucking back, dude. And it was fucking terrible. And God bless all those people, but that's what that was. And that's what happens when you go fucking.
Does that
with
even
people.
really matter anymore?
It was a reaction.
Does it really matter?
Well, what
anymore?
I was gonna say is,
well, I mean, like we killed way more people than they killed now, right? Like a lot.
Yeah.
So does it?
Including our own.
Is it that part? I mean, not that it didn't matter. Of course, it mattered, but should it really be part of the conversation anymore?
Can I get that knob?
Should that event
the knob?
Should that event
creak in the middle?
Like change how what we're doing now? I mean, that was over 20 years ago now.
I don't think so because I don't know. I think
I'm just saying everybody always compares stuff. It's always a comparison to 9/11. Everything's a 9/11, 9/11, 9/11. It's a comparison.
It's important.
But why?
It's important to understand that
it was bad. It was very bad. It was a historical moment.
Well, what I was saying is, how we funded the Mujahideen, or the CIA trained them and funded them and everything. The Mujahideen in the 80s, that basically was Bin Laden, or it wasn't basically, it was Bin Laden, and it just came full circle, dude, and it came back to bite us in the ass. But that's what happens when you empower these motherfuckers. But my other point was being, if we're trying to create a peaceful world and freedom and democracy, then you can't meddle in elections all over the world and overthrow governments and fucking install people that the people didn't elect, and then fucks over the people and makes them fucking poor. And then you place sanctions where it's an act of war and it starves people and fucking leaves them hungry and dead. And then you drop bombs on people.
That's what I'm saying. We drop bombs. What did you tell me? Because I don't.
326,000 since 9/11. And
okay,
that's
326,000 bombs that we've dropped since 9/11. But we're saying, but they hit our towers. Yeah, but look what we fucking did.
Right.
Like, who's the bad guy? I mean, those were bad people that did that. That's horrible that fucking happened.
Right.
But is it make us better to be to do more horrible things?
No.
It's like,
it doesn't.
You fucked us, but I'm gonna fuck you with 2 dicks.
Right.
I mean, what the fuck?
Right.
Well, we're going to show them how we're number one. Yeah, right.
And that's
number one. We're number one because
that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't know anybody. Maybe maybe you guys know somebody, but I don't, that has had a family member murdered and then they like that person later. And you know what I mean?
They like them later?
Yeah, like in other words, we drop bombs on these people and we murder their family members or whoever.
Oh, like the person that did it, and then you like befriend them afterwards?
Yeah, and then later on they'll be like, no, we'll be cool with America later. Yeah, we're making enemies, and it's not the right way to do it.
I understand. You had a hard time.
And at the same time, you're flipping hard, man, because what I'm understanding is these other countries that are these 120 plus countries that are already signed on to the Belt and Road Initiative, they're lifting a lot of people out of poverty. I don't know if I wrote it down, but millions of people. The World Bank is even saying that millions of jobs are being created. Millions of people are lifted out of extreme poverty because of the Belt and Road Initiative. And people are like, dude, this is what we wanted America to fucking do.
And what's America do? They take them, they remove them from the IMF. What is it? The International Money Fund.
Yep. They will kick them off, dude, and we'll starve your people. And the sanctions, it's evil, man. And I don't care if you want to say that it's how we have to do business. Then you're fucking wrong.
Well, I think that's what Jesus would have done.
I'm sorry, I had to fucking laugh at that because look at his shirt.
Well, because everybody making a decision is a Christian, right?
First time we got
like
left on this fucking show.
Biden's a Christian, Obama's a Christian.
Yeah.
George W. and everybody that preceded him.
Yeah, they
was
got a kill list like this, and then they put a peace prize on top of it.
It's just crazy, man. The mind manipulation, how these people believe this shit.
It is, man. It's fucking crazy.
Question everyone, everything.
Yes. Even yourself.
Make America great again.
How much time we at?
You gonna believe in a concept?
An hour and 10.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of time.
Yeah. You gonna believe in a concept? You better fucking make sure it's right, and then don't even go all in. How do you go all in on anything? Like blindly all in on any fucking thing?
Not today because we're so lied to.
What about in your life? Yeah, okay, a vagina. Because you can survive.
That's all I can think of.
You can survive going in on the wrong vagina. You can survive going in on the wrong vagina.
That's right.
It might suck for a while.
I give it my all.
It rarely sucks,
but
I understand.
No, besides that, no, I'm pretty cautious with every decision, and it has nothing to do with what my belief system is. Maybe my moral.
I think it's bigger than just
not
morals, dude. I think it's way bigger than morals, dude. We are fucking this close for the same reason they're protesting those passports, the vaccine passports and shit, dude. We shouldn't want this shit, man.
I think it comes down to what you were saying before, how these billionaires having that kind of money, being born in that kind of money, or just being that kind of money being available to you at this moment or whatever, how it changes your thoughts or even if you know right from wrong, you still know right from wrong.
Right.
You're still gonna do whatever is going to bring you more.
Right.
And everybody running shit is making that money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you said,
and you have to protect your interests for the future. So if you got to rewrite a law here and there, then that's what it is. You know how pissed, fucking poo-poo sad those fucking people were when they had to not trade stocks no more. The Congress.
They
got so poo-poo mad.
I just thought about it.
They were all defending it.
But
you make a law that affects the financial side of this, the economic side of this, dude. No shit. It's insider trading. You're gonna fucking have the heads up every fucking time. It's stealing money.
Did you hear that Trump has to testify now? Did you hear that about that?
No, I did not.
In the January 6th whatever trial.
Are you serious?
Yeah. A judge ordered that he has to testify now. Him and two of his kids, which I don't. It just said two of his kids in the article, so I guess.
What if he goes up there and he's just like,
Ivanka and
I got him to go in.
Junior.
You're not cool like me, and you'll never arrest me either.
Yeah. And fuck Rosie O'Donnell.
Did you give the order for the code red? Did you give the order? You're goddamn right I did.
Goddamn right I gave that code red.
They're gonna Colonel Jessup him, man.
He's gonna be Colonel Jessup. Oh shit.
Can I see that, Jim?
You're goddamn right I did. You can't.
Did you order that code red?
I have a responsibility you can't fathom. Oh shit. Yo, that man killed that role, man. God, he's good. Yeah. Jack is fucking got game. That's a great movie. That's a movie that whenever it's on, I'll watch it. I'll just ride it out.
That's before Tom Cruise was all weird and stuff.
Yeah. It's very before Scientology. I don't know nothing about Scientology.
It's about aliens and shit.
Oh yeah,
you wear paper triangles on your head.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not versed in it, but I know it's something about like alien, like some kind of alien situation.
Founded by what? L. Ron Hubbard.
L. Ron Hubbard was the founder. I know that for sure. But then there's like Xenu or. I don't really know all the details, but it's something about believing in some alien race put us here or some shit.
Alien
like
ant farm theory.
Something like that.
Who knows, man?
Which is not too far from other things.
Dude, exactly, bro. Like
it's all relative. Like what do you
believe in? The Big Bang?
The supreme being?
Yeah.
What is that? That's an alien.
Right. Right. What? Yeah.
Did Jesus walk on water? Or is he
Yeah,
like
but-
the only dude that could swim?
But nobody wants to look at God as a
But-
green guy
you know what I'm saying?
with big eyes and no beard. And
Not
all
the
that stuff.
not the white man in the
No, he just got to look like
robes
Santa without a hat. No one wants to look at him like an extraterrestrial type.
Yeah. I don't know.
and- Is it a him?
I think about the Big Bang,
It's
and
a
I'm
they.
like, how the hell, you know?
God forbid, like
That's-
the two egos of that, creationism versus science, or evolutionism.
Yeah.
The egos of that can't admit that maybe what if they're interlocked? What if the supreme power just like
They're both right in a sense.
lit the fuse on it? Okay, I'm gonna see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Now just let it be.
I mean, that's
whatever.
legit the reason why I believe. Like before I had a reason to believe, because I've lived a lot of life, I have experience, I have my own reasons now.
Yes.
But before anything, once I figure that out, I'm just like, yeah, of course. That's why he thinks I'm cheesy.
But do we have good aliens and bad aliens?
the sun
Hence
come
the
up?
devil.
I would assume.
I mean,
we do.
We
yeah.
got bad aliens.
I would
the
assume
devil,
there's
horn.
bad
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I know we're living
I mean,
with some
I
bad
think there's
aliens
gotta
in
be
our
a-
fucking government.
I think with anything, there's a balance. So you have the bad, you have the good.
Dude,
you have the
I'm
bad.
so sick of the bad actors that we have. Like the
It's
games.
like they don't even care anymore. They just realize
Like,
they're so fucking powerful that it doesn't matter if they reveal themselves. Like, what are you gonna do?
And they're the pussiest dictators. They're not like mean looking. They're just out there swinging golf clubs on the course and be like, and walk around. They're like, and it's just like, we're getting ruled by some pussy dictators. Fuck these guys. It's what it is, man. The system, dude. They're not. I mean, I don't believe they're doing anything. I think it's all political wrestling, if you will. It's they know what the script is. You have the rotating villains. You got you got the donors that buy their way into it. I forget who it was, but they said the only difference between a Democrat and a Republican is how fast their knees hit the ground when their donors walk through the door.
I believe it.
And
But you know
and
what?
that's it. That's what you're seeing today. It's class war.
What do we need, man? What do we need? We need a leader. No,
need right and left to understand this.
Say, okay, we need to unite as a
education.
people, because as a people we can't unite without a leader. You need a leader to bring it all together. We need our MLK of this generation. We need someone of that nature.
He or she is out there. They're out there.
But it's going to take that.
Right. I'm with you. But first, we need. What I see people doing their own things in different parts of the world, and the nation, which is what you want. Because when shit hits the fan, that's when all these people say, "Yo, we're going here," and boom.
Those leaders that may be out there, they're probably afraid to be like an MLK these days because they're going to take you out.
And
right?
that part.
Because they know historically they're going to take you out, and these days it's even easier to find you and
They're going to call the Clintons on you.
Not only are they going to take you out, they're going to whitewash your history.
They're going to
destroy
you.
And they're going to. The FBI will be in 2022. The FBI will sending out tweets in support of MLK, and they're the ones that murdered him and send him.
They'll arrest you for trespassing, and then you'll hang yourself with all these extra clothes that were in your thing.
They told
yourself.
This is basically neo-McCarthyism. You're saying the way they
Right.
destroy people's reputations
Right.
that stand against.
Exactly. And what I was saying was, and we'll tweet it out later, that we were supporting you the whole time in 2022, and everybody will retweet it because they're that dumb and out of fucking touch with what really fucking happened, and that is the fucking bad actors that I loathe right now, and that's why I say ignorance is bliss, because it's not so much the heaviness of the reality of it, because I'm not fucking suffering like all these other people are, but it's the fact that I got to deal with those fucking fake ass bad acting fucking pieces of shit.
You know what?
that smile
Tell me
at
how you really feel.
What
Tell you some
confuses me a little bit is that I got the Twitter since we've been doing this show. I got the my show account, right? I don't really use it, whatever. I still get like the notifications and whenever I see stuff and whatever.
Right.
But why are the people that are using Twitter all the time, using Facebook all the time? You would think those would be the more informed people. right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
That's the intention, I guess.
They're informed only
or
what
the
they're fed.
original intention.
Yeah.
They're fed different things. Like
Right.
my feed's different than yours and yours.
That's true
Yeah,
too.
It's selective.
I was on Social Dilemma.
Yeah, I know it's the algorithm and whatever.
We even
but,
put that theory to test too, and it worked. We did the climate change test.
But I know you don't use it. You don't use social media that much, and I don't use social media that much.
No, I need to though. Jesse just got my ass last night about it.
The people that do use it, they should be the more informed individuals.
You would think.
Yes.
Right?
You think they get both sides or all sides, or
That's what I would think.
do you think they're getting their side
Right.
catered to them?
But Mike, look.
I guess that's how
what
it is.
We just recently learned when we looked into history and see how bad we're lied to. That's the thing. If we're just surface thinkers and we're just responding from the news that is given to us just on a daily,
It has to be beyond that.
It has to be beyond that because that's all they want you to do. They want the news to roll off you,
know,
like water off a duck's
back. But if
back.
you ask any of them, I'm sure that they would testify to the fact that they are very informed and they know what the fuck's going on.
They probably believe it. They're getting state intelligence or whatever.
But do you think that they're more objective or subjective to those things?
Probably more objective, I guess.
You think?
No.
I don't know, man.
Subjective.
That's
Definitely.
I'm teetering on subjective.
They just take it and do it. It's routine, so they don't even have to do no journalism, man. They're just taking jobs.
They're getting their confirmational bias.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they're just passing it down the fucking chain, dude.
I don't know.
But politics today, look at the material differences in people's lives. This is the difference right now, right? Just like we said, it's symbolic. Before, we were getting shit. Now, we don't get shit. We just get, hey, don't vote for Trump. He's bad. And, hey, I'm going to do this, this, and this. But when they get up there, they don't do shit. That's what we get right now. There's no material change, and that's a sign of late-stage capitalism coming to a close, them holding on to the shit, and they don't know what the fuck to do right now because they got to keep giving profits to their shareholders and all that jazz. Keep getting their inventory and all that shit. It's a product. It's a system. The system is flawed badly, and it's just reality. And I don't give a fuck.
Isn't it?
What your next thought is?
I don't think we should have reduced access to information or anything like that. But doesn't China has like a reduced internet? Like they can't get on this, they can't get on that.
I don't think they can socialize with other countries. Is what I think it is. I think they're only allowed to
close net.
I think it's only within their own borders. They're only allowed to fuck with that.
They take care of their own.
But I always use this kind of comparison because like 20 years, I guess it hurts to even say it. 20 years ago now, right? As I was at work, I would be bored as fuck all fucking day. You know, like I mean, if I wasn't busy, if I wasn't busy and I had in my downtime, I was bored as fuck. I'm reading a newspaper or reading a magazine more than one, like over and over again.
Yeah.
But now you got the phone where you can look at something different all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think about this comparison all the time, like because I feel like time's going by faster. And I know that's because I'm getting older and whatever, but it's also because of this. Because I have just all this extra available.
I didn't think about that before. That's interesting.
But I think about the people that, the kids that they're not really kids anymore. They're young adults or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
That they've had it their whole life. And they're the ones that they really think that they know what's going on, right?
Not only that, you seen the suicide rates from the generations that started using phones?
No,
is it like high?
For girls and preteens and fucking...
Because everybody's making fun of them
social
online
bullying
and shit like that?
Holy shit, bro. The spike goes
You
like
can't
this.
escape it.
I don't have the fucking numbers on me.
because they can't
I'll
escape
get
it after they leave school or whatever. They can't escape
you know what I will? I'll pop it up on the screen.
Well, that has,
But-
I bet that coincides with
the
the
number-
the school shootings and shit too.
But the number...
Absolutely.
Because you said girls, so the girls are hurting themselves, and then the boys are shooting up the schools or whatever.
It died. So anyway, we're back. We had to take a break because the camera died, and that's technical difficulties, and that's how it rolls around here. And so cheers to that. But
the government and their deficient batteries.
Planned obsolescence.
The lithium shortage.
Bastards. Cheers, gentlemen.
China.
I want to thank Mike again for
China.
coming in.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Pleasure.
It was long overdue. I think it was fun, man. I had a good time. So time flew by.
Absolutely.
But anything else we want to talk about before we get the hell out of here? What were we talking about? I don't even remember before that. Oh, I know what we wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about, you said something about military. It was something about the military and whether something was for something. Fuck, what was
bases.
Oh, our bases abroad.
Okay. So what was the question, though?
Well, I don't know. You just mentioned that we have bases everywhere.
Well, I was just saying, like, why don't we have other countries' bases here?
Oh, we can't.
Oh, yeah. That's
Something
We
like,
can't have that. No.
Why not?
exactly, and that's what it was. You're right. Okay, so what a great example, right? What a great example of how we're not the polite ones.
Oh, I know what it was. I was saying we should all like
We're the occupation.
The country should just
That's right.
Should just what was the wording you used? We should just stay at home, but use some other kind of
Isolationism.
isolationism.
Well, think about it
So
like this. Right?
I think that's good,
Japan did it.
but we don't necessarily need to remove people from the bases that we already have
But
established.
look at what we're doing, right?
But and then that brought up the question: why the fuck do we even have those bases in the first place?
Right,
Those
And,
bases.
and if we do have them, then why don't other countries have bases here?
right.
I think that was
Because
the gist of all of it.
because when we go over to these other countries, our bases are essentially just to make sure we maintain order. That's all that is.
And
And
the bases are. I mean, I don't.
Well, let
the
me
bases
finish.
are separate from the.
yeah, let me finish the thought though.
I'm sorry.
They're colonizing these places just like fucking slavery, dude. We're wage slaves here. You see what they do, right? We're working for peanuts on the fucking dollar, dude. And we should be at least having a decent. I mean, we live in America. You know, you have to weigh that too. Where are you? Where's your location? What does it apply to your economy and all that good shit? But just generally speaking, we should be getting pop. I have the fucking thing.
Embassy. That's what I was trying to think.
I
Of.
got it. I know. I got it. Check this out.
We have foreign embassies here.
I have from Time Magazine, right? I wrote this fucking shit down because it was worth keeping. The top 1% Americans have taken $50 trillion from the bottom 90%. This is not some back-of-the-napkin approximation. According to the groundbreaking new working paper by Carter C. Price and Catherine Edwards of the RAND Corporation, had the more equitable of the income redistribution of the 3 decades following World War II merely held steady, the aggregate annual income of Americans earning below the 90% would have been $2.5 trillion higher in year 2018 alone. 2.5 trillion in 2018 alone. This is an amount equal to the nearly 12% of the GDP. Enough to more than double median income, enough to pay every single working American in the bottom 90% an extra $1,144 a month every month. That's why we're fucked. And it's just a heist. That's why. So we do that in other nations. So what we do is we're doing that in everywhere. We're pushing this capitalism on everybody. This form of capitalism, this liberalism.
Well, that's what they're selling. And what it is we have these military bases there that protect our economic interest in that country. Okay, that our military presence protects and gives our presence there that protects the government that we are puppeteering.
Correct. Right.
And then we're just making money. Meanwhile, their unemployment rate is tripling.
Right. So
we're squeezing a milk.
So yeah, man. So it's just like Michael Parenti describes when he's talking about expanding. It's just a regular capitalist system grows into it. It grows into an empire, and empire feeds the political economic content is imperialism, and then it expands.
So we want the world to be America.
That's right. We're pushing.
No.
Well, we do. We
don't.
No, that's what we're doing. We're pushing capitalism on everybody.
No.
No.
We're exploiting them. Anybody else?
Well, yeah.
We're selling it as like we got to make the world capitalist, because we're the good guys. No, that's
Right.
what
And we gotta
that's
make
the
them
bullshit we're
Christian,
selling.
too.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
That's the bullshit we're trying to sell. But what we're doing is we're milking to death and squeezing them.
Correct. In some places we
I
are, but
think
in
we
other
need-
places like Honduras, we got companies in there, and we're either exploiting their resources or you're right. It's
think-
imperialism. You're right.
Maybe this is off topic, but
profit.
I think we need to find every indigenous people in the world,
But it's a result of
and convert them to Christianity. I think that's necessary.
I think yeah. Well, we get. I mean, that's
You never heard? Well, let us show you the fucking way, dude.
I don't know about that, but hey, but I do know that that's what it does. So it's a result of capitalism, and it's just in its final stages. You're in imperialism. That's how Rome fell, dude. Rome was fucking huge. It was in every place.
They stuck their nose in everybody's business.
Right. It's an empire, man. That's what empires do, and we've got to this phase where it's that, which is more why it's important to understand this shit, because it's at the point where it's the most effective, man. It's gonna fuck us up. I mean, my rent's, I gotta move again. So it's what are we waiting for? I guess is the question.
You just tell them that you're not going to pay them.
Well,
I wish, but if we were connected, we could all do that, and that's what a fucking strike is all about. Just saying collectively, hey, we're not paying.
put
What
out
the
a fl-
fuck
put
you
out
gonna
a-
do?
put out a flyer
And truthfully, they can't do shit, and that's the power of the people, man. Realistically, that is the power of the people, and that's why I think we were a population of only 5 million people in 1800. That's only 222 years ago. Think about that. 5 million people 222 years ago. And now look at what we are. So they have to control
immigration.
Yeah, so
fucking,
it makes sense that authoritarianism would be here right about now. Surveillance, all this shit, and militarizing the police and all this stuff. They're cracking the fuck down. I don't know how we got to this point, if it was strategically planned or.
I don't think we're ever going to change the spying on us. That's just a thing now.
Yeah. Since the Patriot Act, it's been a thing for sure. And Edward Snowden revealed that they've been keeping metadata on us forever. And they're not sitting there going like this, but they have it if they want to.
But even if they're not like,
they can search you.
yeah, even if they're not like watching me through this camera that I do not have on right now, even if they're not doing that, they can still collect all my Facebook stuff and everything.
Oh, they can blow you up in 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that I search for.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of.
They're probably
That's
watching you
out
through
there.
that.
That's your fault for putting that stuff out there, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
other people besides the government can collect that shit.
for sure.
That's the price you have to pay for access to that.
You want to talk?
that tool. You have to give up something.
But now, if you're watching me through this camera that I do not have on,
So
that's a different realm of
intrusion.
Yeah.
well, here's another realm of intrusion. How they got the Apple people. I think it was the Apple people too. You know how you get a new phone, you hit OK to all that shit, and then part of it saying,
I read all of that every time.
Good. Do you really?
Yeah, all like 135 pages of it. Yes.
Well, they were telling people that they were gonna do it for pedophile reasons and catch pedophiles, and so if somebody was keeping pictures, so they can look through your pictures and see.
That's one of those reasons that you get a lot of people to say yes.
Yep,
Yep.
that's exactly what that is.
Hey, you don't want murderers or pedophiles or
right.
any other
It's
really
manufacturing
bad type of, or a terrorist.
Right.
You don't want that, so we gotta do it now.
Right. And that's exactly what manufacturing consent is all about. It's about doing some things to make you do something a certain way, and they go, "Got you, bitch." But you don't even know it the whole time because you're happy. You're sitting there on your phone like, "Oh, cool," but you don't even realize you just hit OK to some shit that wasn't okay, and you didn't think about it at all. And
Well, it shouldn't be getting you for any reason though.
No, but I'm saying but
they're still spying on you.
They're able to
try to get those other individuals that are doing
right or whatever,
those
right
things.
And it's just not cool, man. Bill Benny was part of the NSA, and he was a whistleblower, and he told the story about how they did parallel construction, and they would hand off information, and they just said you couldn't use our exact notes, but we'll tell you the guys and shit, and you go bust them, and you do your own notes, shit like that. So they'll give them the address or whatever. Parallel construction, and And that's when he was out. He was like, I'm done. This is fucked up, man. I can't be a part of this shit. And good for him. Good for him. Because those are fucking heroes, man. Those are the ones right there.
Hey, I may or
because he's gonna get killed.
I may or may not had a white privilege situation the other day. I know you like those kind of words.
White privilege. What happened?
I don't know. I was driving into work, and there was a speed trap, and they were pointing at me, and they're like, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm getting a ticket.
They got you.
Yeah, it was like,
where was it on Orange?
No, it was on John Young, and it I guess it switches to 35. It's 50 most of the way. Did he walk out? But it switches to 35 for a portion of it.
Right.
So I was still going 50, and it was 35. And anyway,
in the work truck?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But they pulled me over, and they pulled a couple other people over, and I'm like, fuck, dude.
You're good. You're in the work truck.
Yeah, so they were just like, yeah, we didn't get you on the laser. But we know you were going too fast, so slow it down. Have a nice day. I was like, what? All right, later, dude.
That's it.
It was like, boom, super quick. They didn't even ask for my fucking ID.
God, you know how pissed some people are watching.
The person behind me.
You see that shit?
The person behind me was.
You see that shit?
He could have had a body in the trunk.
Yeah, I could have had heads in my duffel bag or whatever.
This is the reality.
But yeah, they didn't even ask for my ID or nothing.
God damn.
Which it was either the work truck or the way I looked or whatever, but they didn't even ask for my fucking ID. They just said, slow it down, buddy. But this person behind you, they're fucked.
Hey, take it easy, buddy. Take it easy.
I'm like, thank you, sir.
You're on 8th Street.
Why don't you do like Starbucks and pay for the person behind you?
But also, you have to realize that the cops are regular people too. At least a lot of them are. Some of them are, special.
They are
but
until
a lot of them are regular people
until they murder somebody that's
innocent. And the way you talk to them doesn't make a difference. If I would have rolled my window
I support
down,
police.
If I would have rolled my window down like my sister does and said, "What the fuck are you stopping me for?"
Right.
That's what my sister does.
Right.
Yeah, you get a ticket.
You know what I find interesting is the police officers that were squaring off against the other police officers in Canada over that shit. That's interesting. So yeah, that fucking rival. That. Yeah, man. It was like a week ago, I want to say, or just when it started. It was like right at the beginning.
That's a true moral dilemma when you got that division going.
Oh man, you want to talk about fucking what the fuck? And he's like, dude, there's nothing doing nothing, blah blah blah, and like, it's a moral stand versus, hey, this is our duty. We have to do what we're supposed to do. And he's like, well, this ain't right because they're not legit doing some shit wrong. And this is a protest. They're peaceful. Hell, they're having a good time. I mean, they were
I'm
selling.
not doing it.
Yeah, like I'm joining, man. I'm taking off my badge for today. I'm gonna go out here and party with these fellas. Hey, man, we're human, and we work. We're not pussies. We go to work every day, and we do what we're supposed to do. All we're asking for is a decent standard of living. That's all we want. I don't want extra. I don't want some big ass house. I don't want none of that shit. I just want some regular shit and not to have to worry about going broke if I get sick or some shit like that. Have a little money ahead of me in case I want to take a nice vacation and go pick somewhere I want to go instead of having to limit my choices to where I can go. I just wanted that, and I want that for everybody. I think everybody should be able to have that, and I think that's a good thing for everybody to support everybody to have, because that would be my new version of the American dream.
You should be able to get your basic needs plus, a little extra.
Right.
You should be able to have that.
If you work hard,
everybody should be able to have that.
Right.
The basic needs plus, a big TV if that's what you want.
That's right.
That's right. Maybe not everything. You're not gonna have a boat and a new car.
Right.
But you can have a used car. And,
that's right.
And
you got some nice shit around.
You can still get to where you need to go.
And you can get your kids some nice school clothes and stuff.
You can
and
hook them up really good. And all that.
Right.
Yeah.
And have them have a good opportunity.
But
because if they look good, they feel good. When they go to school, if they got the new shoes, if they do, they perform better. I mean, that's a fact. That's in studies. When the kid's well fed, he performs better.
That's what's kind of hilarious, right? Like they say, oh, well, they're not poor. they got a big ass TV and they got a cell phone and whatever.
Right.
The cell phone costs like goddamn nothing.
Right.
A big ass TV just about costs nothing.
Right.
I mean, it's a couple $100 for a super big TV now. Mm-hmm. That's nothing, dude.
Yeah, you can get a pretty big TV for like $700. And you get a fucking like 70-inch, a huge TV.
Well, but if the basic needs are taken care of, then you can afford to buy things like that because, if you don't have to worry about having a roof over your head or vehicle transportation to get to and from work, the ability to pursue your dream in life and to do what you fucking love, you'd be a more productive citizen.
Right.
I think it's a
and then
better
feel
comparison.
trapped in it. You don't want to feel trapped in a job, but you want the ability to have a job and hopefully have the job of your dreams.
Well, I feel for people that feel trapped in a job because that's like
Jesse, shout out Jesse.
That's like one of the things where I could say that
my dog.
I'm so goddamn lucky. I have that whole feeling of like hating what you have to do every day you wake up, and if you have to call in, you just like have this knot in your chest because oh no, they're gonna give me some shit or just whatever else goes along with that. Like
right.
Like I haven't had that and haven't had that in years, and that's a beautiful.
That's
thing.
a blessing, dude. That's a big blessing.
That's a great thing to have for your job.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because stress kills.
Yeah.
It will eat you alive, especially depending on how sensitive of a human being you are. You might be a type of dude where shit don't affect you really much.
I mean, most of my stress is all personal shit. My work stress is not really stress. It's more like aggravating sometimes.
Yeah,
annoying.
It's annoying, but it's not like stress to where it like knots me up. Or like I'm like, oh fuck,
right.
It's not like that. It's just like, dude, you can't believe what they got me doing today. This is some bullshit, dude.
I've been stressed like that before, to where I'm just like, oh,
I have too, and that's why I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, that's why I look out for people. That's what I would think about some of these countries that get bombed all the fucking time. Could you imagine? Like that's probably what they walk around all the time, just hoping today we don't get bombed.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, dude.
I couldn't really imagine.
Could you imagine that shit,
No,
bro?
I couldn't imagine that.
Or I hope I eat today.
And I hope I get some food.
Like where do they? I don't even understand where they get food from. I don't even, the people that are giving the food, or that are getting it together. Like,
well, when we bomb their farms, that's not very helpful.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how does it even work out?
That's what we do, man.
That's,
I was going to talk about that.
Really.
Fuck, I didn't have it, but I was going to talk about that, Afghanistan, man, and the sanctions that Biden's Caleb Maupin's calling Biden right now the starvation president because he's got so many sanctions on everybody, dude. And you heard about that Alex Saab guy? He just got locked up. He was getting Iran to bring Venezuela food because they fucking got fucking American sanctions. They're fucking Venezuela up. We got sanctions on Iran too, but we're fucking these guys up. And so anyway, Alex Saab, I guess, was trying to get them food from Iran, and America kidnapped Alex Saab. So they're talking about free Alex Saab right now. Free Alex Saab.
Is Alex Saab an American?
Well,
I think he's a Venezuelan.
That goes back to
trying to get food for his people.
That leader.
Our sanctions are starving them.
That leader that we desperately
So we ain't
need.
having that. What?
That's why that leader that we need and we want, and
right?
That is required to make shit happen. That's why that's not going to happen, because if he presents himself,
that's a Maduro versus.
He's going to be prisoned as a traitor.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't kill him first,
right?
They'll destroy his reputation, so they won't make a martyr out of him when he does.
Dude.
Yeah. And it's totally easy to destroy your reputation now with all the social media, like we were just talking about. And stuff.
Jesus. And they do too, man.
They can make up whatever. They just create the doubt. It doesn't even have to be true.
Oh, dude, yeah. And there are some terrible actors, man. It is so bad, but people don't even see it, man. And I'm like, holy fuck! Like, there's actually receipts with this shit, people. You could check their receipts, and you could see that they're full of shit. That's all you got to do. That's what I heard. My boy Nick Cruz from Revolutionary Blackout. That motherfucker talks about checking receipts. He got me saying that shit now. It's like check their receipts. Make sure they're there. Motherfuckers, sometimes they talk and they ain't got receipts. Ain't got shit to back it up. That's what history is.
That's all of it. I mean,
that's what history is. It's just receipts to back up your shit. It's to catch the patterns, to see what's happening, whatever. But oh well, enough of that shit, man. But yeah, it's a circle fuck, and we know enough to know it's all bullshit. And bro, I can't be more. I already loved you, but like more fucking like I just think it's so cool, man, when people change their perspective on anything. I don't care what you're believing in. I think it's cool the moment you change your mind about something, because that's transparency and that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to try to figure out what's right and not get locked into some shit. Everybody's got a fucking their own right. We have a freedom of choice, man. We live in America, so use it. Use it. Don't get locked into some bullshit. Actually use your freedom of thought and do some of your own thinking, man. Because once you learn history, you're going to find out that, oh shit, I have my own opinion about this. I don't have to fucking piggyback off anybody else's thought. Because what I learned is that the smartest person that you know isn't always the smartest person, just because they are smart. But if they're lied to, then it doesn't matter how smart you are. You're only operating off lies. So you're that's what you're responding to is a lie. So your whole opinion is flawed after that. It's void. It's fucking done.
Yeah,
it's
from get-go.
It's get-go. So I just think it's important for everybody to realize that we do live in a country where we do have our freedom of thought. We have free speech, and we can exercise that shit. So do it, because what you don't know is being used against you, and we need to fucking really understand that. The more educated you are, the more knowledgeable you are, the more powerful you are, and the more powerful you are to the person to the right and left of you, and everybody in your community.
Can I read you something real quick?
Talk to me.
Do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it.
Okay.
Do not believe in anything simply because it is spoken and rumored by many. Do not believe in anything simply because it is found written in your religious books. Do not believe in anything merely on the authority of your teachers and elders. Do not believe in traditions because they have been handed down for so many generations. But after observation and analysis, when you find that anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and benefit of one and all, then accept it and live up to it.
I love it.
Amen. Who wrote that?
Buddha.
I like him very much.
Speaking of Buddha,
I always love that.
I like Buddha very much.
yeah, I like Buddha very much too. How
He always said it's always, hey, don't believe it just because I'm saying it.
That's right. That's right.
Just think for yourself.
That's right. Because I believe in a creator, and I believe everybody was born with the ability to do that. I know, because my brain was on idle most of my life. I never used my brain. And I didn't, and after a while I thought I was dumb, because I watched all my siblings use their brain and they were smart. And I just fucking didn't, dude. I played sports. My energy went to physical exhaustion in a way of just playing sports. And that's what I did. But then when I realized, holy shit, I can retain things. I do. And then I got fascinated by how we're getting fucked right now. I'm like, holy shit. And imperialism blew my mind. I'm like, this really happened? We're responsible for this? This can't be true. And I dug deeper and deeper and just confirmed my beliefs. And I'm just like, wow, man, this is undeniably fucked. And it just keeps getting worse. Like, I still don't know it all. I'm still learning shit day to day. It's amazing. And yeah. But anyway, I just full circle. I just really fucking think it's cool, man, that you have at least slightly changed your perspective somewhere.
Well, it's just blind obedience is for the birds, man. You shouldn't. I can't think of one instance where it serves a good purpose. Blind obedience. You know, and that's something that they try to instill in you in the military, that it's a good thing.
Right.
You know, but
super patriotism.
exactly.
It's fucking super patriotism. God damn, that's a fucking...
Blind obedience is a concept created by our governments in order to maintain control.
Right. Right. That's all it is. And it works.
Yep.
So good. And this isn't a slight on, he's a Marine. This isn't a slight on anybody. We support everybody, but we're just saying the whole system itself is operating funky. And at this point, what the fuck?
Funky. That's a nice, all encompassing type of word.
Fucky.
Appreciate your vernacular.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
But it's been like that for since before I was around. So I guess I think that's why people, you know, it's easier for them to accept it because it's just been, everything's been fucked up for so long.
Well, when you're doing things a
like
certain
these books
way,
that you guys are talking about,
they say it's become the way just because it's been done the same way. It's like toilet paper, bro. You talked about, why do we even use toilet paper? Why don't we
I changed that.
Yeah, you told me. You told me.
I still
got
use it, but I use less.
Yeah. But it's a good point to my point. Just because you've done something for so long, you don't think of another way to do it. You don't think about all the toilet paper we're wasting and all the environment we're clogging when you could just put something that pokes water in your ass real quick and cleans you right off. And then you're like, shit, I'm good. And then maybe have a little leftover fucking wipe down to make sure there's no color there. And then you're good. But the whole point is we didn't think about this logic. We've been wiping our ass with some fucking or sometimes some brutal shit that's like sandpaper. Sometimes some shit with single ply where your finger slips through the paper.
Hey, and if you're curious, I got 2 bathrooms. When I use the one that don't have it, I'm kind of sad.
We're dead again. That's a great way to end it.
I'm kind of sad.
Shit.
When I use the other bathroom.
Fuck it. We're done for now. They'll freeze my camera.
It's fine.
Let's go. We're still going.
It's fine. I got my words in.
No, she'll freeze my camera. I'm not done yet. We're talking good. This is a good point about toilet paper. Because it's a great way to point out that when things are done a certain way for so long, people don't even question their it's blind obedience, like you said. And then the super patriotism is the capital thing.
I was just talking.
Look at us, and that's why they hype it. That's why Mike says when Mike watches movies, he's like, this is bullshit. He's like, this don't
Like the military movies, you mean?
Yeah, it's like no, man, like there's no, like they make it everything, but they exaggerate.
Well, I was just talking to my kid this morning on the way to school because there's fucking trash all over our goddamn neighborhood. It's just fucking everywhere.
Right.
And it's everywhere besides our neighborhood. I mean, it's fucking everywhere. But there's just shit everywhere where people just, I don't know, they don't put their shit in a bag or something. And when the trash comes, it spills and then the wind spreads it all over the neighborhood. However the fuck it happens.
Right.
But so I'm talking to her about like styrofoam and whatever. Like, hey, so if it was a paper plate,
right,
and you bury that shit in the ground, it'll go away in like a year or whatever. But if it's a styrofoam plate, then it's there for pretty much for fucking ever, 10,000 years or whatever.
Okay.
She's like, really? Like forever? Like, yeah, like goddamn for fucking ever.
It is.
And she's like, well, why did anybody ever use that? I don't know. I don't know why they would use that. I don't know why they would still use that.
Why would they make that?
They told me when I was a kid that styrofoam lasts for fucking ever and it was not biodegradable when I was a child. And they're still using that shit. Right. Why? I don't fucking know.
Right.
We have bubble wrap, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I mean, and there's all this plastic. I mean, I recycle, right? I want to be a recycler.
Right.
But all the bubble wrap
it don't matter.
and lots of other plastic, you can't even put it in the recycle bin. You're not allowed to, or they tell you not to. You can't put bubble wrap in a recycle bin.
What?
Why not?
Because you have to take that to like Publix or whatever, where you know the same place that you take like your Publix plastic bags. You can't put your Publix plastic bags in your regular recycle bin. You have to take it to a special recycling place, which is not at your house. You have to take it to like, you know, outside of Publix or some other fucking place.
Close by Publix because you'll
So
stop in and buy
most
some
of the
shit.
plastic that I use goes in the fucking trash. Just bullshit.
Well,
And
that's
and
damn shit.
then they tell you on the news that, hey, even though you've been recycling properly, they still throw away 96% of it.
Yeah.
Like 96%.
Dude,
What the?
listen, it is. And,
They
and
only
this is the thing.
only recycle 4%.
Bro, think about it like
oh
this.
my god.
Think about it like this. 100 companies alone make 70% of the emissions. All the companies make up 90% of the emissions.
Well,
Our carbon footprint means nothing. It means nothing. Recycling really means nothing. I'm not saying don't recycle. I encourage it, everything, but don't get so bent out of shape
It's
for
like
some
feet.
little shit.
Well, they
No.
should be mandated,
You know what I mean?
mandated, fucking required.
What's
to
what's
only
the military
use
admit?
biodegradable,
I agree.
recyclable
I agree.
materials.
I agree. And we should have like no plastic fucking shit being served to us in restaurants or whatever. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. We could dumb down on it a lot, dude.
What's the military's emissions account for?
Oh yeah. That's
You'll sell
Our-
me on electric cars and such when I see the military go all electric.
that's another reason
Well,
we're
I
fucked.
don't. Hey, Mike, I don't know if you listened to one of our other shows, the show before the last show. We were talking about the rockets.
Oh yeah. Did you find out anything further than the
No, I didn't really. It is conflicting information, but I'm still going to go with the original information.
Yeah, me
Which
too.
is basically one rocket
Oh yeah,
going
he was
up
telling me.
is like equal to the emissions of everyone in the whole fucking world
for 100
At
years. For a
100
lifetime.
years.
For a lifetime.
with one launch.
Wow.
Yeah. Per person.
Now-
so it's 7 billion
But
people
then,
actually.
but then there was
Se-
this other article saying no, that's a clean energy rocket.
Each
and it
passenger
doesn't-
was for 1 billion people.
So I'm going to go with the original one, since even if it was half as much as what they say.
Yeah.
It's
They
still-
said there
it's
was no
still-
emissions.
Basically, if everybody in the whole world
So
went to an electric car,
You know why that's
and
bullshit?
solar, then it wouldn't really make a difference, and it wouldn't matter
Look,
compared to the
what
emissions
they're
that the
doing.
This
rocket
is where
set
you
off.
got to use common sense. This is why that was bullshit, that it was no emissions. Because if that were the case, then it would be groundbreaking fucking discovery right now, and we would be making everything run off that. If you could send a rocket to outer space on no fucking oil
Let's put
whatsoever,
that in a car.
no fuel, no.
Just give us a little pinch of that. Put it in the car. you know?
Exactly, dude. You would solve all the world's problems right there. People don't, you got to think about this shit for half a second, man. We would be done. We'd be celebrating. We'd be like, holy shit, this is amazing. We could fucking, I don't even think we've been out of the atmosphere, right? Like, you can't even leave the atmosphere.
What in these launches?
I think they
And
should start. They should
Bezos
start
is
running all the
running
rockets off of nitrous oxide. That would make things way better. I'm gonna go to every rocket launch.
Well, I'll tell you what was way better. This fucking podcast. It's Friday night. Let's go hang out, man. Let's go have a couple more drinks and see where the night takes us.
Already.
Shall we, gentlemen?
Alrighty then, yeah.
Well, Mike,
I'm
one
gonna
more
go set
time,
up some
OGB.
rockets.
Fucking love you, man.
It's great being here.
Yeah, bro. Since my
chosen.
face is frozen now, we got the gozing. Big stat. One more in the books. Let's
Yay!
go. Yeah. Yo, OGB, you gotta come back sooner. We gotta have you back, dude. I gotta have another conversation like this. We gotta bring you back.
Just let me know. I'll be
Well,
here.
when you finish the book, I want to hear about the end.
3 more chapters. Yeah.
I want to see what the fuck.
Long.
Yeah, I want to see how they end this motherfucker, dude. Because
Yeah, I'm curious to see how far they bring it.
that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
I bet I could guess they live happily ever after.
It's either that or we're totally
capitalists do.
fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, the capitalists do.
Yep.
Yeah, fucking Elysium. All right, everybody. Have a good one.
Peace.